¿Qué tal todos? Bienvenidos a Musikalizo, el programa donde nos encargamos de traer nueva música a sus oídos. El día de hoy empezamos de manera increíble porque tenemos al dueto de Estados Unidos, Fuck Your Birthday. Es un dueto con un estilo tipo punk, math rock, que está excelente, les va a encantar. Y sin más preámbulo, aquí los tenemos. Hello guys.
What's up, dude?
We're so glad to have you here. How are you guys doing?
We're
Pretty
good,
good.
yeah.
How are
Happy
you?
to be here in Puebla.
In Puebla, yeah. Enjoying your time in Mexico?
Absolutely, yeah. Good
Yeah.
food, good music, good times.
All right. Well, we just have a few questions for you before these awesome people can listen to your beautiful music. So I guess my first question would be, how did your love for music start?
My dad is probably a big culprit in that department. When I was 7, I saw Pink Floyd in concert. Before that, when I was like 5 and 6, I would run around in my apartment listening to like Beatles and Beethoven records and Simon and Garfunkel and stuff like that. So from a young age, I was like addicted to music and concerts and just kept it going from that point on.
That's awesome. So you're a rocker.
Yeah, my dad was a drummer in Russia. My brother is a drummer. I'm a drummer. I started when I was like 7 or 8, so a lot of music history there, yeah.
All right. And how about yourself, Chris?
As for me, well, it all started with my babysitter, actually, when I was a young man. My babysitter, young boy, I guess, not young man. when I was being babysat at one point, he gave me and my brother the CD White Zombie, Astro Creep 2000,
Ooh.
and also Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe. So these were my first real tastes of music. It's coming from my babysitter.
Coming from your babysitter.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I don't believe I mentioned this, but this is Chris, amazing guitar and vocal from Fuck Your Birthday. And that's Roman, amazing drums and percussions overall. Now, how did you guys met? How did you guys form your band?
Okay. Well, we met in Pennsylvania, in between West Virginia and New Jersey. Actually, it's my ex-girlfriend that introduced us together. So he was living with her as a roommate for some period of time, and her and I started dating, and she told me that he played drums. She knew I played guitar, obviously, so she was like, you two should jam together sometime.
Yeah, I went to his room in his house, and he had like no real bed. It was just like a drum set, amps and a guitar, and blankets and a pillow on the floor. And I was like, all right, this is cool. I can hang with this dude, and we jammed. I also didn't play drums for 7 years at that point, and we met, and I started playing drums again, so that was really cool. But yeah, that's how we met.
Back into drums.
Yeah, that's how we met.
That's awesome. So, Fuck Your Birthday. Very interesting band name. Not a name you hear very often.
No, not a typical thing.
How did you come up with that?
Well, I think I'd have to thank my Uncle Remus for that, because I brought him to my family reunion in West Virginia, and it was my Uncle Remus and my other Uncle Daniel, and they were fighting about something. I don't even remember what they were fighting about, but one of them
Probably
was like,
food.
he was like, I think it started with like the condiments. So he was like, Dan, pass the ketchup, and then he was like, fuck your ketchup. And then, Remus replied, he's like, well, fuck your mother. And then Dan replied, he's like, well, fuck your couch. And then, back and forth for a minute, and at some point they said, fuck your birthday, and we all thought it was hilarious. So, they always kind of get at each other's throats, so it was all in good fun. But, it left an impression. We were just like, wow, that's such a funny thing to put after fuck your birthday. It's kind of like, really, it's like bigger than fuck you. Because fuck you is just like, you're alive, you're here, but fuck your birthday, it's like fuck the day you're even born.
Fucking awesome. Dude, that's pretty funny. Just from a random...
Two uncles fighting at a family reunion.
That's awesome. All right. And you guys have one studio album
one studio album. We have EP, and we're releasing a split, like at the end of this month.
Oh wow!
Or next month, sorry.
That's awesome.
Well, we also have what was it? Simple Barks, Louder Than You. That's
Yeah, we have a lot of like little releases actually.
Yeah, how was the Simple Barks Louder Than You? How was the release process?
pretty simple, very DIY. As all hell.
We
rushed
recorded it live, and actually,
in my living room.
we can go ahead and get into this because like we are based in China now. So when we first met and we started making music, we were doing it for about a year until I had already like made plans to go study abroad in Hong Kong. So we had written all of those songs for Simple Barks Louder Than You before I was going to Hong Kong, and so we were running out of time to record it, and we kept like dilly-dallying and doing demos, and we couldn't really decide how we wanted to record it. And finally it was like, yo dude, we got like a week left before we're not going to have this recorded for the next like half a year. So we just set up mics in his living room. We used one interface and just recorded all of it live. I did some guitar overdubs and a few vocal overdubs, a violin overdub as well.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. One of our friends in our hometown in Morgantown, West Virginia, mastered it for us.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
There wasn't a whole lot. It was sort of like once we got the files, there was no like release plan really. It was just like,
yo, check it out.
Here's the artwork. Here's some music. Everyone can actually listen to what we've been writing.
The last show before we went to China, we had some copies that we kind of made ourselves right to give out.
Yeah, we had a few like we printed some copies and burned them off our computer.
Oh, okay.
Like super DIY.
Damn. Man, that's funny. That's very cool though. Very interesting. Very indie alternative.
Yeah.
Well, even this album, which we're still touring on, is Touchless Automatic. The name of this is sort of like ingrained in our DIY roots because we recorded this in a warehouse that we practiced in a few times, and on the walk to the warehouse there's a car wash, and on the sign it says Touchless Automatic on the car wash. So we thought it was such a funny like, well, for one, like touchless is not even like a real adjective, so that was funny in itself. But like because we recorded everything ourselves in that warehouse, and we put a lot of work into that, like a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into this album actually, and we just thought it's such an ironic name to say Touchless Automatic, as if it were done without us even doing anything.
Right.
You know? But really, it was like definitely a DIY till you die kind of album.
That's a very ironic name. That's very funny.
And if we're talking about the recordings and stuff, we also have this split coming out soon with Nefarious Industries, and this split we recorded also DIY for at least our two songs. We recorded our songs in our friend's living room while he was moving out. So it was like his moving day. He was moving stuff past, and we were recording the drums and stuff in his living room. Then we recorded the guitars and everything in my dad's work shed. So it was all like, it's all like, you know,
ultra DIY run and gun on the road.
We don't know what a studio looks like yet. we haven't been in one yet, except for your studio.
Thank you.
That's the most professional thing we've ever done.
Oh wow. That's a compliment. I'll take that. That's awesome.
The other band on the split, Space Monkey, they did record it in Estudios in Guangzhou, so they did have a proper studio to record in.
They're a solid three-piece punk band. We've played a festival with them last year on New Year's Eve in Guangzhou, and they're doing it again this year. Thank you. But yeah, they're a sick punk band. We met them touring our first time in China in April 2017. We played with them out there, and we stayed in touch since, and we've always liked the idea of doing a split together, so 2 years later, it's finally here.
Damn, that's awesome.
So 2 years in the making. They
did this graphic art as well.
Yeah,
that's their artwork.
Really
and then
good.
this artwork was a friend of mine in Hong Kong named Ako Ling. She did this, and
that's amazing, and it's beautiful stuff. You know, it's definitely surrealistic. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you, walk without moving, sleep without dreaming, stare into the deepest part of an ear. It hears you breathe. What if you could set something tragically near? Make it turn away. It's up behind on. The clock is trapped again. Like bread